Hello everyone. For our next top 10, welcome back to Spooky Sessions. Got it right this time. Number 6, I believe, or on number 6. Apparently the number 4 went up as soon as I uploaded the number 5. So the trivia is up. So if y'all want to go see that or listen to that on Spotify, it's up. So that's pretty cool. It popped up. Hopefully it was just a bug or something like that. Hopefully it doesn't do that every time, but yeah, that's up. So today we're doing another top 10. Today we are doing top 10 jump scares. Halloween movie jump scares. I thought this would be fun. I have a whole list of good suggestions. We got a few more suggestions. If anybody has some suggestions, just shoot them.
It was really hard to write these down for me. I don't know what it was. It took me like an hour to think of.
I literally just looked up top jump scares and I just picked from how I reacted to them. But how about I'm gonna close my door. Hold on. You start.
Yeah,
Wait,
that's what I did.
actually, don't start. This could be.
I just did that. Okay, I'm gonna entertain. So how y'all doing?
Alright.
Very good. Oh, okay.
You start with your number 10 of the scariest jump scares.
Oh shoot, we already started. Okay.
All right, my number 10 is something that I don't consider a horror movie or a Halloween movie, but it's considered that by other people, which is Jaws, and I am referring to the dead guy's head popping up whenever they're scuba diving.
Oh yeah.
I probably jumped the most in the movie at that scene. I don't know, every time it's still that scary. I don't know. I don't even consider it a horror movie or something, but that has a dang good jump scare. I don't know about it. I think it's the music that just goes.
Okay, my number 10 is the poltergeist scene. There were so many jump scares in this movie. I haven't watched in a long time, so a lot of them are kind of blurry. But the one that sticks out to me is the tree that goes through the window and grabs him, just pulls him out the window, and kind of like almost swallows him.
I haven't seen that in a while. Is that on Netflix or Hulu? I think.
I think it was on Netflix or something, but I remember he's like counting the seconds before lightning and he like doesn't hear I think he's like counting it and then he doesn't hear the thunder or something, and then just glass breaks, trunk goes and just eats him, just takes him.
Yeah, we both got like just random. I guess because that's the number 10. We got just random movies, just weird random jump scares. My number 9 is from The Sixth Sense, and that is the girl under bed, which is basically where he goes into this like room where somebody like got poisoned or something, and the kid's under the bed with like I guess a chest of a videotape or something like that. But I remember this really scared me for the first time I watched it. It was probably like back in when I was like 9, so probably like 6 years ago. I remember it was freaking terrifying.
Didn't he like walk around the bed like he didn't find anything in there as he was walking out? Then like an arm sticks out.
I think so.
He falls down and then she's just under the bed, just like gremlin looking. Yeah. Not gremlin, Gollum looking.
Yeah, I think it was scary.
Okay, my number 9. Yeah, most of these are kind of just random. I already have the top for this episode. I kind of already knew what was gonna be at the top, and I just kept it there. And I just kind of thought of all the ones that scared me the most and just brought them down. But this is number 9 is iconic. I don't know if it's considered a jump scare. It's pretty obvious what's gonna happen before it happens. But it's the psycho stabbing, the most iconic like jump scare, not jump scare, but like sound cue, like.
Yeah, I have that on there too.
Yeah, it's really well. It's funny because it's so it's not very gory. It's just you just hear this slash, you just see her screaming, and then there's like a chocolate syrup that they actually poured. So it was actually chocolate syrup.
Dude, imagine having to be doused with chocolate syrup for a movie.
Like, That would just be amazing.
It's
But
just sticky. Just would just
oh
get
yeah,
all over your like arms and face and just be sticky all day.
I think I heard Alfred Hitchcock for the takes that they weren't getting the right takes or something, like the reactions that Hitchcock wanted. So while she was getting ready, like she was caught off guard, Alfred like he told them to start rolling or something, and he went in there and jump scared her before the scene even started and started slashing, and that was her reaction. That's what I heard. I don't know if that's actually true,
Ah.
but that's actually a funny thing that he was actually he was he was the one that scared her all along. But yeah, that's a good scene. I can't.
Yeah. We have that just like two more up the list, but for my number 8 is from The Shining. Is when Mr. Halloran, I forgot his first name, but it's like one of the caretakers. Whenever he gets stabbied by Jack. Basically he's walking in the main lobby and Jack comes from like behind a pillar. It's not like that boom or anything like that. It's more just like like just owl just slowly just coming from. I think that's part of the scariness is just he doesn't see it but you do, and he just whacks him.
That was the longest cut. It was like the longest scene as he's walking down so slowly, so unnecessarily slowly,
The
in
anxiety.
this huge like lobby, and you're like you. Well, the cool thing is what they did was they had like 3 pillars, like 2 on each side, and he's walking between them. So you're waiting for one of them,
Yeah.
for him to be one of them, and it's like the last one that out of nowhere just jumps out, just
Yeah.
hits him with the axe. But okay, that was number 8.
Yep.
Okay, my number 8 is the Conjuring 2 Nun. It's weird. There's so many different storylines in that movie, but the nun, whenever it's the first experience with a nun, I believe, where Lorraine is in the room of like the piano room or something, and she sees the frame of the nun, like the painting that she was paint the paint, the painting that she painted, on the wall, and like I believe you see a maybe I'm mistaken it, but I believe you see a shadow like go to the frame,
Yeah.
and then like hands creep around the corner of it, and like it's kind of this close up shot, and then with no, like I've never seen this in a movie before. That's why it stood out to me. Is she just it's not even like she comes out of the frame. She just takes the frame with her and just runs at Lorraine, just like and it's like it's so weird,
I thought you were
but
talking about the one where like she's like looking in a mirror and she sees it behind her and she looks and then it's
yeah.
not there. She looks and it's there and it looks back and then looks back and then she looks back once more at the mirror and it's like right in front of her.
That's the Amityville part of the movie, like the egg first scene.
Mm.
I originally had that on there, but I remember this one was more. That one was pretty tricky. It was kind of like the actual Nun movie, that scene
Yeah.
in the Nun movie, but I think this one was more unique than that.
My number 7 is one that you already said. It's the psycho stabby. Um. Yeah. It's I don't. It's same thing with the Jack one. It's just a long scene of just showing him walking up the stairs and then just all of a sudden. And she just walking, or like he would, as the like mom just starts zooming like across that terrace or whatever you call that, like a platform towards them, and then it is followed up by one of the worst shots in movie history, which is fine. It was
What?
1950 or whatever. 'Cause whenever
What?
he's like falling down the stairs.
Oh yeah. I guess and the weird thing is, whenever I saw it again, I don't think it's actually a green screen. I think he's actually just walking down the steps and making that somebody's probably like gave him a brace. But
Yeah, that's what it looked like.
it's I think I love it because of how cheesy it is. So like obviously
Yeah,
terribly made.
that's my number 7. Even though it's like so expected and I already know, it's just something with the music and how fast it's going. It's terrifying.
All right. Okay, that was number 7, right?
Mhm.
Okay, my number 7 is I think I definitely, the thing is about this, the whole time we're making these podcasts, we're probably gonna be seeing the same scenes overlapping with episodes, but um
Mm-hmm.
this jump scare, probably the one of the earliest jump scares I remember watching was the ghost lady in the library in Ghostbusters,
Mm.
the reading woman who's just floating there,
Yeah.
kind of just reading as much as she can before she has to like go to the other ghost realm. And that was, I think that's the first bust that they do. And I remember I still fight or flight to this day seeing that image, because I remember, I think the first time watched it, we saw that jump scare and it's just scared the pants off me. I was, it's just it's terrifying. But it's such a well-made jump scare. Like it's not Five Nights at Freddy's just like, it's actually, you actually
Mm-hmm.
the face that pops out at you is so well made, and it's very creepy.
Yeah, probably should have added that on it, but it's fine. It would probably be 11 or something for me. Like now, it's not scary, but I remember the first time I saw it, it was terrifying. My number 6 is from the first Annabelle, I believe, but it's the little girl running through door. So it's basically the I
Oh,
totally forgot who it is and what the story is, but she's like walking around and she's like looking at in a corner room, and then she turns back. She says sees this like little girl in another room, like across the hallway, but in another room across the hallway, and she's just standing there. And then she starts running as the door is closing to that room, and as soon as she hits the door, when the door closes, it opens back, like slams it back open, and it's like a taller, bloodier, terrifying version just keeps running, just zooming. And I remember it's so out of the blue. You're like, oh, she didn't get there, and then and she just keeps coming. It's let me tell you something. Let me tell you
let me
something.
tell you something.
But it's great. I remember seeing that for the first time, and it was scary. I even forgot about it. I was just looking up best jump scares, and I saw that. I was like, yeah, that was an actually good jump scare.
I think it was in the trailer too. I remember seeing that in the trailer and
Mm-hmm.
being
Yeah.
like, "Whoa!" I've not. It's like it's really cool. It's weird. I guess it is technically a jump scare because you're thinking the door's gonna close, and then
Mm-hmm.
bop, it's the Annabelle spirit possessed. Dude, what was it? Was it Conjuring or Annabelle? I think it was Annabelle, with the whole story of like how Annabelle was made, like
That was
the murder.
Annabelle.
That's got to be the creepiest. That's
Yeah,
so
that
one of
was
the most
Annabelle.
disturbing. Yeah, I
What?
remember that. That was one of the most disturbing openings to a movie I've ever seen. Um, but yeah, those movies, although they're James Wan,
James
my
Wan is amazing. Shush.
he's amazing, but he does do cheap jump
And
scares when he needs
Jason
to.
Blum.
Anyways, Jason Blum, I respect Jason. He does good movies, but
Every time you see that logo, the Blumhouse logo, you know it's about to be a lit movie. I just started watching another one on Netflix, and it was Jason Blum, I believe, and it was.
does a lot of
I
stuff.
watched
He
like 10
produces.
minutes of it, and it was about like so far like they thought an alien was going into their house and like making stuff and getting into these like
Isn't it?
kids' dreams. I don't know.
Uh,
I want to try to finish it, but um yeah
all right, my
um
number six.
yes.
And yeah, my number six. I don't think you remember this one, but there's about four of these in my thing. There's weird like levels when it comes to jump scares, just like small jump scares where you kind of jump, but then like the biggest level is whenever it scares you and you're still shaking and you get
Yeah.
chills, because that's what happened in some of these, and it's really crazy. This is one of them. In the Insidious, I believe it's the second one, because that's the last. Does the last key have Patrick Wilson in it?
I didn't
I
even
didn't watch
watch
that
the
one,
last key.
but I think it's in the second one where he like, the only thing he can find, the ghost, the like old lady, the like, what was she called, the
Oh,
black dress
that's
lady,
the first one.
the first one.
It's
The
the
only way he could find her was like taking pictures, I
mm-hmm.
think, or something like that.
That was the
And
end of the first one.
yeah, it was literally the end, and like he's looking around this dark room with like the fireplace, and he takes a picture. I barely remember it. It's very distinctive, so pardon me if I'm wrong. But he like takes a picture, and there's a flash of her, and he's like, okay, and he just aims the picture again, and takes a picture, and the woman just freaking just books it at him, just
Okay, that might be
screaming.
the second one. I
That's
thought
what I
I thought you were talking at the end of the Insidious whenever the old lady takes a picture of Patrick Wilson and it shows her, the old woman, just standing there. I thought you were talking about that. That's the end of
it.
Insidious, but I'm think maybe it's Insidious 2 that you're
I
talking
think
about.
Patrick gets like killed right there.
No, it's the old woman gets strangled by Patrick.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I'm still
cuz
confused. I don't
the
know.
the old like the
Oh, yeah, that's right. She because that's the yeah,
yeah.
that's right. He accidentally kills her when thinking it's yeah. But yeah, that I remember that jump scare was so out of the blue. I was not expecting it. And it was probably
Mhm.
one of the scariest.
I okay. My number 5. I got one similar to that. Um my number 5 is also the first Insidious, and it's the Running Boy. That's what
What?
that's what I wrote down. But by Running Boy I mean it's like closer to the start of the movie when the girl's like cleaning up the house and she's like taking out the trash, and this there starts playing this old music, and it turns and it shows this. It's like like it's a whole. It's like those spinning discs. How do I record player obviously, and it turns and looks through the window, and there's this just freaking 1920s dressed kid like facing the record player away from and just dancing, and it goes boom, and it's just like
What?
dancing like all creepily and like spinning and just dancing, and it's terrifying. And then like later on he starts running around the room. That's also big jump scare, but that whole scene is what I mean. It's just full of terrifying jump scares.
Yeah, I don't have no clue
You have
what
to
that was.
rewatch Insidious is
I
such a good
hate
movie.
that movie. It's so
It's
scary.
so good.
I can tolerate some movies. The Insidious are just
at,
so scary.
at least watch that red boy part. It loaded.
The the devil part, the devil with the music. I rewatched that. So I was like, this is fight or flight.
Tiptoe by the
Stop,
windows
stop,
to
stop,
the
stop.
window.
Okay. Oh, that's right. Okay. I have to look at the Word document because I wrote it down there instead of my phone. But, um, we already talked about this. It's the unfriended ending where it's like the only real jump scare in the movie because most of them are like that big guy gets puts his hand in. Most of them are like glitches out and then like sound cue and like ah. It's kind of like mostly jump scare glitches. Um, but the last one is the most well made, and I've seen it the most, I think, in like edits of like the scariest movies because like it's weird because I've watched it so many times that I can't understand what is happening in it. Like the laptop obviously shuts off, like it's put down by hands, but the hands go upward, like someone was
Yeah.
hanging, which is creepier. Someone was hanging, looking downwards, and put it down, and then just brought their hands back, and then just jump scare. It's a really well crafted jump scare. I wasn't even mad that it happened because that whole movie's so good, or everyone hated it, but I thought it was so good, and it didn't really have jump scares, so it was a nice way to end it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that one was really nice. Probably one of my favorites.
Um. Yeah, that one's terrifying. I didn't even want to watch that because I just took off my headphones and looked away. My number 4 is also Insidious, but it is one of the most well known, and is the red face scare, which is obviously the guy with the face on fire. It's the most one of the most known. I would say most known, but it's whenever the I think it's her mom, and they are talking, and she's talking about like when she had to go and pull out Patrick Wilson from like the I forgot what they actually call it, but it's like the Beyond or something like that.
I have no
And
idea what that
and
was.
and she was just describing him, and then she hears this like, and then she looks up, and just right behind Patrick Wilson's face is the half of the face of the red
Oh yeah,
dude, and
that's
he's like,
that's everyone.
freaking
Everyone loved that
terrifying.
one. It was so. It was not. It's so light and it's just regular talking. They're just talking to each other and then
Yeah.
jump scare. It's so cheap.
It
So I
didn't
hated
scare
it.
me the second time or the third time or the last time, but like the first time, it scared the poopy out of me. But that's my fourth one.
Oh, oh, okay. You probably don't remember this one. I don't know if it's actually a jump scare, but I loved it. Remember in the first Conjuring, they had this game where they would clap. I don't
Mm-hmm.
exactly know what it was, but they would clap 2 times for
Yes.
some reason. I don't know, kid things. But
It's like Marco Polo.
yeah, it was like Marco Polo, and it's like three-fourths through that movie, and the woman is like down the stairs. I think this is before she gets possessed. She's like on the stairs, locked in the basement or something, and all she has is matches, and it's dark down there. And she lights one a couple times, and he's like, I guess she's like Marco, and then, or whatever they say, and then, just hands. It's just pitch black behind her. Then hands just come out and just go. It's like the scariest thing, and the match burns out. It's like the creepiest. I admire that jump scare because it wasn't like in your face. It was like just, oh, that just happened, all right.
Yeah. All right. Number 3. We're down to our top 3. Number 3 is, of course, the all-known The Nun trailer jump scare, which is, I never actually saw The Nun. I want to, but I also don't want to, you know. But, not from how scared I am of it, but, like, from the reviews.
Sure. Yeah.
But the jump scare that was in the trailer, that kind of ruined everything, because people were, like, now they didn't want to see it because they knew the biggest jump scare spoiled, you know. And then I think they had to take that out of the trailer because it was so scary.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's the one, if nobody knows what we're talking about, it's the one where it's for the Nun trailer that came out like 3 years ago, and she's, I think, like one of the, like, the good nuns, the not demonic nuns, are like in a hallway or something in a basement or something, and she's like looking around, she's like, hello, and it just all of a sudden from the side, like from the side of the hallway, just bursts out the nun, and she like slams her into the other wall, and it's, I don't know, you just have to go see it. It doesn't sound as scary as it is, but it's terrifying. I might just record all the jump scares and put them onto
No.
this.
Not for the Spotify
No,
version.
probably for the video version, but still.
There'll be. I was listening to some horror podcasts, and it was like the jump scares in movies, and they didn't really. They said they wouldn't put any of the jump scares, but one of them they actually warned me, but it kind of had some pause to it, and the jump scare came on, and it was just like this, and it scared the crap out of me. I had to turn down the volume.
No, you know what a jump scare is? It's when you're freaking playing music on Spotify at loudest volume, just chilling, and all of a sudden, well, do you want Spotify Premium? Please sign up for 1 week free or whatever. And it's the loudest crap in the world.
After 3 songs, I have to automatically turn it down because I know the next thing will be this loud, like clanking, like voiceovers. It's ridiculous.
You know "Lonely" by Elenium?
Yeah.
Where it starts, will you let me?
Oh,
like, just.
There are so many songs like that where it starts out so rough and it's scary.
I was listening to like some Billie Eilish, like Listen Before I Go, or something soft, and then all of a sudden that came on, and I ripped the earphones and like
Go from Billie Eilish to Elenium and you will have a literal heart attack. Okay.
I got mad. I was like, bro, why did you make it like that? I think it's to like.
Well, Some, the bridges between two songs
Yeah,
that they do.
sad
That's probably it.
sad songs goes like, and it like cuts off. I'm guessing that's how it changes.
Yeah, it goes from that and then continues on to the next song.
But
Sometimes
anyway,
people would do that. Amazing.
number 3 was the Nun trailer.
My number 3 is the It 2017. This was in a trailer too. The Pennywise, the huge mega Pennywise in the
Mm.
garage. I really wish it wasn't in the trailer because even in theaters, even if I know this was gonna happen, I already had my ears covered and my eyes half closed. My popcorn brace or something. I don't know. I was scared. Uh, I remember it's so the thing about it in theaters. I just remember the bass was so deep.
Mm.
Like you could feel every jump scare. I don't know what it was. Maybe it was the theater.
Yo, the in it too. When he's like when the like spider Pennywise
Oh,
goes, and
yup.
it just falls and like floats. That was
It,
intense.
it it was so low. Anyways, yeah, the mega uh Pennywise that jumps out of the frame, or it was a projector on
Mm-hmm.
the in the garage. And I remember it could have been it's so good already, but the way that they cut it, there's like only about 4 clips. Whenever he's like going
Mm-hmm.
towards them, it kind of cuts and then black screen and then cuts and then black screen, and then you
Yeah.
hear them screaming, and it's kind of like it takes away the whole motion of the scene. But even then, that it's not, and it's so ended. I remember audience reactions whenever people release audience reactions when that garage door opened. Everybody was like, "Oh," because you actually felt like you're there in the dark theater,
Yeah.
and this huge thing was reaching for you. But yeah, that was. I remember how
Imagine
terrifying.
3D with that,
No, no,
cause
no,
it
no.
literally jumps out at the screen. Whew.
It's like,
Um. Yeah, that's terrifying. My number 2. I think we might have the same, or actually one
no,
of
no, you don't. We don't have the same number 2. Probably the same number 1.
my number 1. I think is something you haven't seen, but I don't
I
know.
think my number 2 is something you haven't seen.
Okay, well, my number 2 is The Haunting of Hill House. Car
Yes.
scene.
Yes.
Uh, I have
That's
seen that. What?
that's my number 1.
Oh,
No, that's my
okay.
number 1.
That's your number 1. But
Dude, let's just
jeez, I
you go
remember
first.
you didn't really spoil it, but you were like, I was asking if there's any jump scares, and you're like, yeah, it's in this scene, and I was just I was covering my ears and watching, and it still scared the patootie out of me, and it's basically they're in a car and they start arguing. There's a TikTok of a dude watching it, and he was like, "What? Stop arguing! They're gonna crash." And then he's like all big, and it just and like from the back seat, bent neck lady, or what
No,
what's
that
her
was
name?
Nell.
Yeah, Nell, which is
Oh
bent
yeah, I
neck
guess it
lady.
is picnic.
Just goes rah or something like I don't know what she says, but
She
just
said she says stop.
yeah, and and even he was like, "Oh yeah," like he jumped like crazy. I think it's just so universal terrifying, because it's like some things are really good whenever you anticipate it, but some jump scares are just out of the blue. I think it's already intense because they're arguing while about to like going really fast, so you're already like, oh, they might crash.
That's what's so good. Here, I'll get into it on the first on whenever
Hmm.
I do it. But my number 2, you haven't seen this yet. Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
What is that
Um,
on?
uh, it's on IMDb TV. So like, there's ads, but
How do you?
it's
Was that from my Amazon?
yeah. It's like the 40th anniversary.
I want to watch that.
It's it's right. It's good. Better than freaking Halloween, in my opinion.
The 2018.
No, 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 the old one.
Okay.
Um, but there's I don't want to spoil it. It's fine.
Is it a spoiler to the plot?
No, it's a spoiler to where the jump, because it's
I don't
such a
care.
good jump
I
scare.
don't care.
So basically, if you don't know the plot, it's these teens. I'm guessing they're teens. They're probably in college. Um, they're like going out to a farm to to one of the teens' dad's ranch, and they like run out of gas, and they get to the ranch, and then they're all kind of doing their own things, and one of them wants to go like onto a lake, and the, the kid whose dad or grandparents have that, what I don't know what it is, says it's past this railroad and something, and they go there, and then they find this other house, this all like big house and ranch and stuff, and they're like, hey, maybe there's gas here, so they start exploring it. Obviously they get picked off one by one, but yeah, that's basically the story. There's more to it, but you'll have to watch it to see it. But
Mm,
after most of them are gone, and obviously you know what happens to them, it's just this guy, the kid who the teen that dad owns a ranch, who's in a wheelchair,
of
and this
course.
other girl, and the girl, and he's like, maybe you should wait for them at the car, and they start yelling for them, honk, and they're in the woods. It's dark and it's nighttime, and they're like they haven't come back, and she's like, he's like, we should go look, or she wants to go look for him, and he's like, okay, and they go. She like pushes him, and it's like this kind of like 3 minute just montage, not montage, but they're just pushing through, and it's you're just kind of chilling watching. It's kind of good. It's good cinematography, and just with no warning, he's like, all right, slow down here. It's a bit of a bump or something like that, and then just this chainsaw just wheels up, and then Leatherface just screams, holds it above his head, and just rams it down onto the wheel. It's like it. Well, I was watching it, and it made me like shiver. Made me jump because I was. It's not cheap, but it was so off guard that it scared me so bad. I was like, oh, but yeah, that's definitely one of the scariest jump scares I witnessed. But it's just the rattle of the chainsaw just when it's already so intense in the dark woods, and they're just it's,
Yeah, I'm
but
probably
yeah.
gonna watch that. So my number one is the from Sinister. It's the one you haven't seen, but it's
Oh,
the lawnmower jump scare, which is
I've
also
technic
I think the
I've
top two is the Insidious, and this is the top two.
I've
Um,
I've technically seen it. I watched a whole review on it,
yeah,
so I know everything that happens.
it's whew, man, it's scary. I was barely even paying attention, and I still got jump scared like crazy. Um, basically, it's like they're watching this like tape that he found, and it's a bunch of like happy families, and then it gets kind of dark. I won't spoil it, but it gets kind of dark, and then all of a sudden it just shows a top view of this lawnmower, and it's just like going for 10 seconds, and then all of a
At
sudden,
night.
yeah, and there's like this flashlight on it. It's like the camera had a flashlight on it, and it all of a sudden there's this guy's body with a head in front of the lawnmower, and it just runs it over, and it's like, and it just starts running over this dude's head with a lawnmower.
Just I've seen that. There's so many people saying that's like the best jump scare ever
Yeah, it
created.
it definitely is. It's because you don't know what's gonna happen. You think it's just gonna cut to another because there's so many cuts, but it's just, oh, we're just gonna run over a dude. I don't know why, but it's just it caught so off guard.
All right. My number one, as I said, is the Haunting of Hill House car scene, the jump scare. And what I was gonna say on it is that is the the most shooken up I've ever been from a jump scare, because you had the pleasure of knowing that there was gonna be one, and you already were covering your ears and stuff. But we were just watching it. The TV was so loud. We watched it. It's so loud for some reason because we're smart. Um, but yeah, we were just watching. It was like this intense scene of them fighting, and like you're like, watch out. She's not looking at the road, so that's one of the things you're already on edge. So
Yeah.
you're on edge of them accidentally crashing. You're like, don't crash, and then it's just a side shot, and then freaking out of the between the two cars, just this Nell um all dead goes between the seats and just screams like, stop, and they like pull over. They both scream and pull over, and then like Theo has to break down and stuff. But I remember, like, I don't think I've ever jumped so hard and be shaking and shivering for so long after that, because it
Yeah.
was literally so 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 creepy, so scary.
I bet there's a ton of reactions online of reaction to that jump scare because it's
I want to watch it.
yeah.
I'm rewatching Haunting of Hill House, and I'm on the one scene episode.
Yeah, I
Just
rewatched
storm.
it back in like June
Hmm.
for no reason. But those are the top 10 jump scares. Of course, leave your top 10 or anything, any you know criticisms of our top 10
Yeah.
or any suggestions.
Criticize
But
us.
I bet we're not gonna be too close because like jump scares are jump scares. It's really not opinions, but still it's who. Yeah, thanks for listening. Go listen to the fourth one fourth
You
one.
saved
Yeah.
yourself. Thanks for watching.
For the thanks for listening. Go listen to the fourth one. It's up on Spotify now if you haven't listened, and then go to Vibrant Achromatic on YouTube as always if you want to comment or like or anything.
Give us
Yeah.
ideas.
Yes,
We have so many.
yeah.
We're stocked to the brim with
I mean,
ideas. So
I wrote down like 5 and then I got an extra one. So I think, but they're not very good. We need better ones. I think we have one for October 30th, and because that's when we all seen all the movies, and then
Yeah.
we have one for
wait, 30th or 31st? Because we wouldn't be watching Nightmare.
that's right. It would be after.
Wait, did I put Coraline on my list?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. You said 31st, and you put Nightmare for Christmas on 31st instead of 30th.
Yeah. That's what I.
But we
I
watched
wanted,
it the night before Halloween.
Oh, I thought it was in that day. We always do. Or was
No.
it Coraline? We did Coraline. Did we?
We never watched anything on the day of Halloween. We always watched Night Before Christmas the night before it
Oh.
or the day before it.
Well, maybe I feel like we have. Anyway, yeah. I guess.
All right.
We'll do that after.
Go listen to the other podcast if you haven't, and see you whenever this posts. Probably next Tuesday. Look forward to next week. I want to do another trivia. We should do that again. All right.
Just another one trivia too.
See ya.
Bye.